what got you into that entrepreneurial bug or spirit? Was there something in your childhood that sparked that?
Honestly, I was never like entrepreneurial until I hooked up with Grant. And he's really what got my mind to adjust and think completely different about money, protecting money. What do you need to know about money? I was always an artist. I moved to Los Angeles when I was 17 from New Orleans without knowing anyone to become an actress and a model. So, and whatever little money that seemed like big money to me at the time that I did have, I just made every mistake that you can make with money. I bought a house, I had 5 hot rods, I blew through all my money, so, and it really wasn't until I hooked up with Grant that I actually started to understand money. And then, now it's like such a passion of mine to help other people who are sort of in my situation that weren't ever really educated with money. And if they were, it was probably wrong, to be honest.
Right.
And to help other people understand money the way that I do now. And certainly I don't know as much as Grant does, but I know enough now where if more people understood just the basics, they could fast track themselves to a higher level faster than it took certainly me.
I got to say that being an actress, though,
that's hard.
It has an entrepreneurial spirit, a little bit, not all of it, but there's that part of jumping into the river, all alone. Right. You come out to Los Angeles, you don't know anybody. That's an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
In some ways.
That's true. Absolutely. Because by definition, an entrepreneur puts something at risk for the hopes that there will be a monetary payoff at the end. So you're right about that. And certainly being an actress and having to deal with the levels of rejection and scrutinization that go on in that town, that I've dealt with for 2 decades plus. Certainly has helped build up the skin, the thick
strength.
To be someone like a Grant Cardone, and then to go on and have the audacity and the courage to go and confront upper echelons of life, where certainly he and I were never supposed to have even attempted to live in or breathe in. And yet here we are trying to break the mold for all the other people just like us to say, hey, you know what, with a little bit of tweak here and there, it's not like a it's just a cheek. That if you actually work in a coordinated, collaborated effort with your partner, and it doesn't just have to mean your marriage partner, but in life, you will have to have partners. You will have to sell someone on your idea. You will have to understand things and depend on people in order to grow and expand, which is very contrarian to what I believed when I was an actress in Los Angeles, thinking I had to do it all on my own. I couldn't depend on anyone for help, especially not a man. Yes. So, I was cutting my nose off to spite my face the entire time. It wasn't until I learned how to, put some my own logic together that I was able to say, wait, you know what? I'm done doing it your way. Yes. Whoever way that was, by the way, I didn't know who they were. It was just ingrained in me. And there was no faces to these people that I was living for. Yeah. And then it wasn't until I was able to get with Grant in 2008. That's really my first entrepreneurial move. Was in 2008 when the economy collapsed. I was pregnant with our first child. So certainly there was nobody banging on my door trying to hand me, an acting job starring, opposite Johnny Depp or anything. So I had to reassess my life at that time. And that's when I realized, you know what? I have to live the rest of my life for me. I had this idea of this empire and wanting to run my own show. Of course, still being, others are accountable. I'm held accountable now to a different group, which is our clients and our people and fans and whatnot. But at least I didn't want to have to be seeking the Holy Grail blessing by, some of these directors.
Different group.
So in 2008, my first entrepreneurial move came where I had a choice where either I could decide to depend on a man and go all in on him and on us. Mm-hmm. And at that time we were under a lawsuit and, the banks. And I mean, we were on the verge of losing it all. There was no brand new Gulfstream 550.
This is so great that you're sharing this right now, because a lot of people are going through this very thing right now. Keep going. This is so valuable.
Well, so yeah, in 2008, I had all of the, imaginary, for me, in my case, it was these imaginary women I was going to be letting down, where I said, if I trade in my acting career with the hopes of trading up to the empire that I wanted to create with my husband, I felt like they were all going to come after me and chop my head off and spike it around the street like, who is this, this weak, subservient woman who, is going to
quite the opposite. Yes.
Right. To be this like woman that depends on a man. And then I had to say, you know what, I'm strong enough in myself. I moved to LA at 17. Even if I'm humiliated, because all the voices going on my head, like,
yes,
you do this, and he's going to eventually leave you for a younger woman, and then you're
oh gosh.
And so I was like, look, I don't know if you read my book, you understand. I put myself through my own humiliation. So I'm like, what's the worst that could happen to me if that happens? I'm humiliated. Okay, been there, done that.